The turkey was carved, the wine poured, the fake laughter stretched across the table like cheap fabric. I watched my father lift his glass, the patriarch basking in his own importance. His voice boomed as if he were still the king of something worth ruling. "We're selling the family business," he declared, grinning like a man revealing a miracle. "And you," his eyes cut to me, cold and deliberate, "you're getting nothing." My siblings clapped. My mother looked down. I smiled. "Dad," I asked softly, slicing through the noise, "who's the buyer?" "Everest Holdings," he said with pride. "They're paying $50 million." I laughed. Slow, sharp, deadly. "Dad," I said, "I am Everest Holdings." The room went silent. Forks froze in midair. And for the first time in my life, I saw fear flicker across his face. He built the business with iron fists and broken promises. Sweatshops disguised as factories, contracts signed in blood and intimidation. Growing up, I learned two things: how to fear him and how to study him. I worked every shift he threw me into: loading docks, night runs, boardroom scraps, earning scars while my siblings lounged in comfort. He told me once, "You're my workhorse. They're my heirs." I swallowed the words like poison, nodding while my chest burned. I wanted his respect. He gave me commands. I wanted a father. He gave me orders. And somewhere along the years, I stopped wanting. I started planning. The first clue came wrapped in laughter. My brother slipped one night after too much whiskey. "Don't worry, sis. When Dad sells, we'll finally cut you loose." I asked questions. They dodged. I read contracts left accidentally on counters. I traced emails. Then I found it. A legal draft excluding me, signed by him, witnessed by them. My name wasn't just erased from inheritance, it was scrubbed, as if I had never existed. He didn't just want me out of the deal, he wanted me erased from the legacy I had bled for. That's when the grief burned away. What replaced it was colder, cleaner. I didn't rage, I didn't beg, I smiled. I let them think they had won. But I knew something they didn't. The business wasn't worth $50 million. It wasn't worth half that. The debts, the lawsuits, the bleeding contracts, they were all hidden, but not from me. I was the one who fixed the books at night. I was the one who met the suppliers when my siblings were asleep. I knew the cracks in the empire. So instead of trying to save my seat at their table, I built my own. Quietly, patiently. Everest Holdings wasn't born overnight. It was crafted, piece by piece, in the shadows. Shell companies, silent partners, loans disguised as favors. Every brick laid with the precision of someone who knew the house she was building was meant to collapse on her enemies. I bought their debts first, through intermediaries, of course. A supplier here, a creditor there. Every chain they thought invisible now led back to me. Then I courted the same buyers my father bragged about. I fed them half-truths, let them salivate, then pulled them away at the last second. By the time Everest appeared, they were desperate. I made the offer irresistible. $50 million. Clean, fast, silent. Too good to refuse. They never thought to look behind the curtain. Why would they? They had already written me off as the fool in the family. The workhorse. The nothing. By the time the contracts were signed, I owned everything they thought they had stolen from me. So there we were, Thanksgiving dinner, my father savoring his victory, my siblings clapping like trained seals, the deal, ink still drying. "We're selling the family business," he said. "You're getting nothing." My siblings cheered. I smiled. "Dad," I asked, "who's the buyer?" "Everest Holdings," he said proudly. "They're paying $50 million." I laughed. Low. Controlled. The kind of laugh that didn't belong in a family dining room, but in a courtroom, moments before sentencing. "Dad," I said, "I am Everest Holdings. The room cracked open. My siblings' faces drained white. My mother's fork slipped to the floor. And my father, oh my father, his smirk faltered. I leaned back in my chair, let the silence choke him. You sold everything to me. Every brick, every contract, every secret you thought you buried. I own it all now. And you have nothing. He opened his mouth, but no sound came. Just the wheeze of a king watching his crown shatter. After dinner, they tried to argue. They tried to threaten. My siblings called me names I had been called my whole life. Outsider, ungrateful, snake. But it didn't matter. The ink was dry. The business was mine. The empire was mine. And for the first time, the silence in my chest wasn't emptiness. It was freedom. I walked out of that house, the smell of roasted turkey fading behind me, the sound of my father's broken breathing still echoing in my ears. He had taught me strength without love, control without compassion, power without kindness, and I had learned. He wanted me.